Hi, I'm Bob Brooks, host of Prudent Money. Today I want to talk to you about improving your credit score. You know, this is probably the one topic that I get the most Ask Bob questions about is how do I get information taken off my credit report? How do I improve the credit score? We're going to talk about the basics of that today. Now listen, there's a lot of companies out there that advertise that they will repair your credit score for a pretty hefty fee. First of all, your credit score is not broken. It just needs to be improved, and those are steps you can take yourself, and you certainly don't need to pay somebody to do that for you. But let's talk about the basics for a very detailed look that will be in my book that's upcoming. It'll be out in about a month. Escape the Debt Trap is the title of it, and there's a very detailed look at this subject. But today I just want to go over the basics. Let's start with the information that you see on your credit report. Now remember, you have 3 different credit reports because there's 3 different credit reporting agencies. There's Experian, there's Equifax, and there's TransUnion. And they all have a credit report on you, so you really need to check all 3 of them. Now what you're wanting to do, you're wanting to take every item that's on your credit report and you want to classify it as either being correct, meaning that it should be on the credit report. Yes, that bill was late. Yes, that bill did default. It is a correct item. You may not like it, but it's still a correct item. And then there's an incorrect, meaning that there's some information listed in the item that's wrong that just needs to be corrected. And then there is just an error. There's information that shows up on your credit report that shouldn't be yours. That's not yours and should be removed. And so the 3 different classifications of items, you want to do that. You want to break them down into those 3. It's correct, it's incorrect, or it's an error. If it's correct, there's really not anything you can do about it until the credit reporting period is over with. And at that point, you can send a letter into the credit reporting agency and request that that item be removed. The second, if it's incorrect, you want to send a letter or go through the process, and this is on the website, by the way, at prudentmoney.com. You want to go through the proper process, and each credit reporting agency has a process that they want you to go through to dispute information. And you're disputing an incorrect information stating that the information that you have about some particular item needs to be corrected. So you send them a letter or go through the process and dispute that information and have it corrected. And then finally, the information that shouldn't be on there, it's very crucial that you send in an information to the credit reporting agency stating this is not my information, and you need to give proof. You can't just say this needs to be removed. You have to give some proof so that they can look at it and go, you know what, we agree with you and we will remove that particular item. Now keep in mind something, and that is that when you send this dispute in, the credit reporting agency has 30 days to investigate. Okay? They can take up to 45 days if they get additional information. And they're either going to side with you or they're not going to side with you, and they'll let you know. Now listen, if they can't complete that investigation within 30 days, meaning the party that they called to get information to verify the item that you're disputing, then they have to remove it. Okay? They have to remove it. Say the credit card company that you were dealing with, say that they finally send information to the credit reporting agency stating yes, that is correct. They can put that item back on your credit report, so keep that in mind as well. So those are the 3 classifications. You want to take every item and do that, and then you want to look at each item and determine what is the credit reporting period for that particular item. Now, this is the way the credit reporting period works. You take the first missed payment that caused the debt to go bad, and you go out 7.5 years. Okay, that is the credit reporting period. It's not 7 as most will state. You go out half a year, and then, or you go out 180 days. Then you add 7 years to that. 7.5 years is what you're looking at for the credit reporting period. That cannot change. Okay, so if you have an incorrect item that is on your credit report, it has to serve its time, which is 7.5 years. And then the other credit reporting period you want to be very concerned with is what's called the statute of limitations period. Now, each state determines what that statute of limitations period is. In the state of Texas, it's 4. And what that means is that within the first 4 years after you miss the first payment, that a creditor or a debt collector can sue you, can take you to court and pursue legal means to collect that debt. This is the worst case scenario and one that you want to avoid. If you get past that 4 years, then you have what's called a statute of limitations defense, and if someone tries to sue you, you can exercise that defense because they have that 4-year period to take care of any type of legal proceedings. Beyond that, they really don't. They could, and there's been a lot of cases where a person will get sued and it's successful because they didn't know they had a defense. So these are your 2 reporting periods, your credit reporting period and then your statute of limitations period, which is determined by each state. So what do credit repair companies do? The ones that advertise, well, we're going to remove everything. We're going to remove judgments, bankruptcies. Bottom line is they can't do it. Here's what they do. They go in and they dispute everything on your credit report, whether it's accurate or not, and they're just hoping that the information can't get verified. To me, it's extremely unethical. So you want to stay away from those. Besides, with this information, you can do this process yourself.